What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all come in here to share, subscribe. Let's get popping. All right. Car comments with B Jizzle, the first one of the year. LA Clipper Talk. We got to talk about last night. What happened, man, between the OKC Thunder and the LA Clippers. 98-116. Saw some good things. Saw some alarming things. But we're going to talk about all that right now, man. The Clippers are 500 coming into Saturday's game, where Kawhi Leonard will be coming back against the Atlanta Hawks, reported by Law Murray. Unless something changes within the next 24 hours, Kawhi will be back tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, let's get some things straight about last night. First thing, never a good thing to lose a game, right? I had predicted that they were going to go on a 1-2 record off this road trip. They're going to lose. They're going to win against the Pelicans, lose against the Spurs, and then lose against the Thunder. That's exactly what happened. I didn't want it to happen, but I expect that to happen based off of the teams we were playing, the rhythm they had, they were playing with, the amount of load that we had throughout the course of the season. I think it's going to take a toll. You guys got to remember and understand, in basketball, there's going to be stretches, there's going to be games, and you're just not going to have it. You're not going to have it going. You're not going to have your shot going. Fatigue, injuries, yada, 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 this, that, and the third. It's going to be part of the routine. That's part of the 82-game season. That's why you got to give teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers credit for being on pace to be on, quote, a 72-win season, which I don't think is going to happen, but it's amazing what they're doing. They're 29-4 right now. So, all respect to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Shout out to my man Tootin Sports for that. Yeah, that's his team. But let's talk about Clippers and Thunder last night. Losing 98-116. I saw some good things last night, especially starting the game off at the first half. I think that it was scored at 54-54. It was tied up. We led to as many as 16 points in that first quarter. It was good ball movement. Everybody was touching the rock. Players were getting involved. The pace was going up and down the floor. And I thought we were playing very, very well. That's not to say that we could not use certain pieces on the court, but I thought we had enough to at least make it competitive throughout the entirety of the game. Now, of course, down the third quarter, that's when the OKC Thunder, just pulled away. But I thought we did very well, and I saw some good things in the first half. And there's a few things I want to, address. First, James Harden was out, did not play for I think his second game this season. Norman Powell, his drought, how bad he played at the worst game of the year, and Kawhi Leonard coming back on Saturday, how it's going to affect the team. Now, James Harden being hurt last night. If you guys do not remember me saying, James Harden over the last 5 games has turned up the ball over numerous amount of times. I think he's averaging 4.8 turnovers this month, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going simply off my head. Harden's averaged, I think, 21 points per game and 8 assists off of 38% field goal shooting. And while Harden has some good highs, I've also seen some of his lows. So I wanted to see how we responded against OKC without James Harden on the court. And like I said, the first quarter I thought we did very, very well. But the second half, I seen that James Harden, him not being there. I think the one thing that really affected us not having James Harden was with Norman Powell. Actually, no, I won't even say that. It's just another floor spacer, a guy who can knock down three-point shots, even though his three-point shot has been falling this year. It's the idea of the defense recognizing that he's a capable three-point shooter. That's the main thing we're missing was James Harden, being able to knock down three-point shots. Now, with that being said, Norman Powell having his worst game in the season, 1 of 11, 6 points last night, averaging 24 points per game, 49% from the field. Outside of SGA is the only guard in the entire league that's averaging that amount of points, 24 points and up, and shooting over 49 and 50% from the field. That's an accomplishment. That's something that you do not see throughout the NBA, throughout the league. No guards are shooting that percentage at that clip. Not Devin Booker, not Anthony Edwards, not Jaylen Brown, not any elite guards are not shooting that percentage in the league right now. So that's a kudos to him, not Steph Curry. So you gotta give Norman Powell his respect. And like I said, I did vote for him as an All-Star this season. Now, I think Norman Powell's biggest problem yesterday is because he didn't see the ball going to the basket. It kind of looked a little bit unfamiliar with him, and he kept trying to press the issue, kept trying to score the ball, and then with him not being able to score the ball, kind of put him in a an unadvantageous situation where I think he's gonna come back this after this game and say to himself, okay, damn, I wish I would have been having it on because we could have really used me. Because if Norman played his game, he would have actually been. We would have probably had a chance to win that game last night, but unfortunately he did not. It's his one game I can give to him. Like, he played bad, he played horrible, but he's been consistent throughout the entirety of the season, man. So you're not going to play great every single game. You have some of the best players in the world who are in the top 5 who've had bad games. So that was a very unusual game for him. He'll come back against Atlanta Hawks. I believe he'll play better. But that was one thing I saw that was, reason why we lost the game. Ivica Zubac being out, or he's being hobbled yesterday. He was actually playing hurt last night. I think that affected us as well. Even though I think that he could have continuously been more and more assertive and more aggressive, I'm going to give him a pass because he was, playing through injury. Like a lot of us, seeing throughout the league. A lot of these guys are playing through an injury. This is a part of the season where, everybody's, hobbled, everybody's bothered, everybody's, going through a little bit of this, that, and the situation. So it's something where you gotta look at, that and be like, okay, damn, it's gonna hit a point where somebody's gonna, have a rough stretch. So Ivica Zubac going through what he was going through last night really did, put a bad, quote unquote, put a bad imprint on the game. But I think some people that, really gotta get some credit was Amir Coffey having, I think he had like 6 threes last night, had over, 20 points. I think I told y'all before, Amir Coffey, he should be in any rotation. He's a two-way player, can guard positions 1 through 3. Sorry about that, I gotta ignore that call. He can guard positions 1 through 3. He can get out on the break, he can score the ball, he can shoot, he can put the ball in the basket. He's unselfish. He should be on any type of rotation. He should have his spot saved, no matter what. That's all I can say about him. Kevin Porter Jr. had a good first half, but I saw from KPJ in the second half is what I was kind of, worried about, was him being a little bit too ball dominant, controlling the ball, running the clock down. A lot of James Harden offense. As I told y'all before, the Clippers going to decide between the James Harden offense and the LA Clipper offense. But that goes to show y'all, like, he's a wild card. He'll have good spurts in the game, and he'll have, like, spurts that you'll be like, you got to get out the game. Like, I thought KPJ had a good first half, had a, horrific second half. And I just think that's because of the OKC's pressure on defense. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league for a reason. They played a hell of a game last night at home. But, of course, the biggest thing we want to talk about, man, Kawhi Leonard coming back on Saturday. How is that going to change the team? How's that going to change the group? How's that going to change everybody's position and role? First off, we got to understand, when Kawhi gets back on the court, he is not going to be the same player that we've used to know and love over the past, I don't know how many years. It's going to take him time to get his rhythm, his conditioning, get back into game shape. How is his knee going to respond? This, that, and the other, yada, yada. If you guys haven't realized, this is the reason why I haven't really been too upbeat about Kawhi Leonard this, Kawhi Leonard that, because I'm like, okay, I got to see how his knee responds. I got to see how he, gets conditioned to the game. I got to see this, that, and the other, how he plays. With that being said, how I feel like he'll come back is going to be more of a defensive mindset, meaning he's going to try to initiate himself on the team defensive first. He's going to try to not mess up the flow of any of the team. He's going to allow Norman Powell, Ivica Zubac, James Harden, whenever he gets back from that groin injury, to more so than not be the guys who are going to be offensively dominant. And he's going to try to fill himself in. He don't want to mess up the flow of the team. And he's going to encourage them guys to still do the same thing that they've been doing. And he's going to find his way as the season prolongs and progresses himself. The Clippers are right now over 500. I think by 4 or 5 games, something like that. All this stuff I'm going off the top of my head, y'all. I don't have my computer in front of me. But 4 out of 5, that's a pretty good, stretch without their best players. So there's really no need for panic right now. They're the 6th seed in the Western Conference. They got a better schedule coming up in the second part of the year, as far as less back-to-backs, as far as them getting more rest. So I think they'll be finding their niche. They're going to be finding their groove as time goes on. So I like what I see. Now, as the situation goes on with the Clippers, they're going to have to figure some things out. Like I said, it's going to be the Clippers offense or the James Harden offense. And the Clippers offense would be something where the ball moves, there's ball movement, and there's simply everybody touching the rock. The James Harden offense is an offense where simply is basically he dominates the ball. He determines who's going to shoot the ball. He's going to determine who's going to score the ball. This, that, and yada, yada, yada. When Kawhi Leonard gets back on the court, the Clippers are going to have to make a decision which offense they're going with. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I'm telling y'all this. They're going to have to find a way who's going to be offense they're going to have to, go with. Of course, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard's offense. So that means James Harden is going to have to play more off the ball. He's going to have to be more defensively active, and he's not going to be able to get the same amount of shot attempts that he would if Kawhi wasn't there. I've already said before, I think Norman Powell has been the best player on the team. He's averaging 24 points per game, 49% from the field. But like last night, if he's not scoring the basketball, he can't do nothing else. And that's why I've said before in the past, stop comparing him to Paul George, because Paul George can do more things on the court. If he's not scoring the ball, he can get you 8 to 10 rebounds. If he's not getting you rebounds, he can give you assists. If he's not giving you assists, he can go on the defensive end and lock down the other person's best offensive player, at least make it hard for them. That's the difference. Why you can't compare. There's two different situations. Norman Powell's not Paul George. People need to stop making that comparison. Even this year, with Paul George going through his struggles because he's going through minutes restrictions or him going in and out the lineup, yada, yada, yada. It's not about Norman Powell playing better than Paul George. It's about who's the better player, who would you pick. And I'm picking the guy who's a 9-time All-Star, a 6-time All-NBA player, a 4-time All-Defensive Team player, who's led his team to the conference finals 3 separate times, and is a future Hall of Famer, over the guy who is, quote-unquote, coming upon his own, trying to prove himself as a starter in the league and try to be an all-star for his first year. Not taking anything from Norman Powell. But as y'all saw last night, if he's not scoring the ball, he's not doing much of anything else. But he's been our most consistent player this season. That's been the case, right? So tough loss last night, but I mean, it's OKC. They're the best team in the Western Conference. So if there's any team I would lose to, it would be them. And I'm looking forward to Saturday with Kawhi coming back. And yeah, I'll be doing a live tomorrow morning, and I'll be also doing another special live coming up in the next couple of days, man, where a lot of stuff is going to be checked. And I'm going to have, yeah, you guys stay tuned within the next 48 hours, man. There's going to be another video dropping that's going to be very telling. So I want y'all to click in, chop in, have a great year. They're about to have a great season this year. Until next time, pull up, see, pull up, check, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swimwear.